Quilt Babble Live with Lisa and Rona. As you know, we're going to give everybody a few minutes to share this over on their social media. But Rona and I are super excited tonight because last month we were talking about EQ, the Electric Quilt 8 software. And we had Nancy McNally and Scott Flanagan, along with Rona, as our three experts. And then we decided we had so much fun. We were going to do part two with our very own right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, Heather Valentine. And then we got super surprised by EQ reaching out to us and saying, hey, we would love to be a part of part two. And so we are very fortunate to have Miss Jenny Novinsky. No, am I saying it right? Novinsky. With us tonight. So, Rona, are you shared? Are you good? We ready to rock and roll?
Yep, I'm good. All done.
Absolutely. Okay, great. Well, let's start with you, Miss Heather. Tell everybody who you are, the name of your company, where they can find you, and yeah.
All the good stuff, right? Well, hi everyone. I'm Heather Valentine from the Sewing Loft, and I'm coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina. Forgive me in advance, but you might hear my Frenchie in the back. He's snoring, and I couldn't get him to get out of here before we went live. So on the average day, I'm just stitching up a storm or chatting with you or designing something fun in EQ.
I love it. And we're puppy friendly around here, so this is good.
For chatting with you or designing.
Oh, somebody's volume's on. Okay, Miss Jenny, tell everybody who you are and where you're at and who you're with and all that good stuff.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jenny Novinsky. I am from the Electric Quilt Company. So we are the makers of the EQ8 software. We are located in Bowling Green, Ohio, and I have been with EQ for over 20 years now. So when I first started, we were on EQ4, and I was much younger. I was not a quilter before I started working at EQ. I started as a graphic designer, but I always joke that you can only design so many quilts on the screen before you want to start sewing them yourself. So that's how I became a quilter. And my favorite thing in EQ is to draw foundation paper piece designs. So those are my favorite kind of blocks. But overall, I love designing in EQ. I play in it every day. I do a lot of the educational stuff at EQ. So I teach the online classes. I teach at EQ Academy. We're a very small company, so we all wear a lot of hats. If you call, I might be the one who answers and talks you through your tech support question. I write blog posts, and we all kind of do a little bit of everything. So if you ever have questions, don't hesitate to contact EQ because we're happy to help.
I love it. Now our viewers can call up and be like, can I speak with Jenny? We have a personal bond.
It happens. So, and I'm happy to help. So
that's actually how I met Jenny. I called one day and she answered the phone and helped me through, like, you know, one of those silly things that was a complete user error on my part.
I'm glad that you mentioned the EQ Academy, because I think a lot of people that are not as familiar with EQ don't know that you guys have that as part of the whole EQ online stuff with all the tutorials and the lessons, and they're fantastic.
Right. Yeah. We have a 3-day workshop, and it's usually in the spring, and it's in Perrysburg, Ohio. So if you are in the area or want to travel there, it's a great time to come and take an in-person class. So
awesome.
Excellent.
We're definitely going to talk about those educational moments a little later. But it is exciting to know there is such support out there. So last month, as you guys know, Rona, Scott, and Nancy are all PC users, and they each took a portion of the program and kind of talked about it. And Heather, I'm going to tell her she's the odd man out. She uses a Mac computer. So I know the screen's a little bit different and that kind of stuff. So we just thought that that would be a great component to talk about tonight, the differences, which I know Jenny's going to throw her 2 cents in since she's been doing it for 20 years and stuff. But something was really funny. Heather said before we got on air, she goes, I used to be a PC user and now I'm a Mac and I wouldn't know how to go back. And I'm like, I'm the reverse. And Rona laughs. She goes, yeah, I wouldn't know how to turn it on. So, so with that being said, do you have your program pulled up, Miss Heather, that you could screen share for us? And we just want to show everybody what your screen looks like for those that are Mac users, but maybe don't have EQ8, so they can see the difference from what we shared last month. And then one of the things that we're going to hop in and talk about, which I'm going to say Miss Heather's the expert, we're going to talk about some of the add-ons. We didn't get into that last month. We're going to talk about it this month. But first, Heather, go ahead and try to share your screen. I think you should have permission. She goes, no pressure, no
No
pressure.
pressure. You might see all the extra things in the background.
As long as it's age appropriate, I think we'll be fine. No, I'm just kidding.
I think we'll be fine too. So I'm just going to share my full desktop because
Yeah,
it'll be
no,
fine.
you're great.
Okay, and I will move it on over so that everybody can see. Let's just make it big.
Perfect. You already started with something that I know is different. Those three little dots up there. I'm always like red.
These right here?
green. Yeah, talk about that real quick.
Oh, so that's just Mac. So I can minimize, well, here it's the full screen. So I've got it right up
Okay.
as exit of my full screen. But if I hit the minimize, you see that it just went down. And so now I've got the
Gotcha.
yellow, but we want to see the whole thing. So we're just going to hit the green button, and the red button would be to turn it completely off.
So see,
That
this is
makes
why I can't
sense.
use the Mac Rona, because our stuff is in the upper right-hand corner and they got these.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that
yours
makes
is up.
sense. It would be like stop, small, and go.
Yeah, it's like a stoplight, right? Like
Yeah.
just like you're driving. It's super easy. So when I watched last month, gosh, it feels so long ago, ladies. But it looked very similar to me. Let me move everybody.
Jenny, feel free as the know all be all of this to chime in if there's anything in particular that, since I'm sure you probably know both Mac and PC. Am I putting you on the spot? Do you know both? I'm sure you
No,
do.
I do know both, and I use both. I am more Windows. That's my everyday computer, but I have a Mac set up there on my desktop too. So I use them both. Essentially, once you open up EQ8, it's the same whether you're using it on a Windows computer or a Mac. Your only differences are going to be like those buttons, you know, and on a Mac, it's up in the upper left-hand corner. On a Windows computer, it's upper right-hand corner. Your keyboard shortcuts are different. So where a Windows user would use like Control A to select all, a Mac user would use Command A. And then your file, the place where you save your files is a little bit different, but what designing inside EQ is the same.
Say those shortcuts again, because I don't think we talked shortcuts. Did we run a last time?
No, last month was mostly going over the basics of
brief, right.
Yeah, like a brief overview of the main components of EQ.
So say those shortcut commands again, Jenny, because I would like to write them down for myself.
Essentially, anytime that you're using Control on a Windows computer, it would be Command on a Mac computer. So if you're doing Select All or like Save, you know, it's Control A or Command A. If you're like on the quilt work table and you want to set a block in every single space on the quilt, you hold down the Control key on a Windows computer. On a Mac, you would hold down the Command key and click to fill every space.
Heather, do you use, or Rona, do you guys use these quick commands, or do you do like me? I go and click the long way because I don't.
I use them especially when I'm on the quilt design page. Like if I want to change the color of one piece on every single block, I'll hold down the Control key. And like she said, if I wanted to put in multiples of the same block using the Control key. So I do use it pretty regularly.
I go the long route. I'm not that advanced. What'd you say, Heather?
I don't use them, but I feel like I should now. I feel like I just got my hand spanked.
Don't worry,
No
Heather.
shame. Everybody uses it their own way and
It's
it works.
okay.
So,
Absolutely. Yes.
I'm in
Maybe
the
I'll be
corner
more
with you,
efficient.
Heather.
Sorry.
I said, I'm in the corner with you. I
Yeah.
go the long route to do it. As soon as she said shortcuts, I was like, I'm not sure I knew there was shortcuts. So Heather, real quick, just remind everybody, pull up, like if you want to throw just a block out of the general library, not the add-ons that we're going to talk about, but remind them how to just pull a general block.
Oh, okay. So you'll go right up to the top. Okay. Is the bar for our sharing in the way? It is. Okay.
I see, there you go. I see.
Yeah. So you come up to the libraries and you could hit block library.
I
And
feel like that looks a little different from
That
the
is different than mine. It's a different setup.
I thought
it
so
is?
too.
It is.
yeah, it should look basic. You can do that on a Windows computer too.
Oh, so Jenny's telling us yet again, we're not doing the easy route.
Okay, so on mine, when I open it up in PC, when I'm in the oh well, you're in block editor. That's why. I'm thinking quilt work table, but you're in the block editor. So yeah, that's the same.
Should we
Okay.
put them side by side? Can we split the screen and share it?
Oh,
Oh,
I
now
don't
you're getting way too technical. You really want us to blow up the Babble Live tonight, don't you, Heather?
I just find
yeah,
it so
no,
fascinating because I've
I
never
just needed to realize what I was looking at. And so now, no, I'm with you now. We're good. I'm not confused anymore.
I don't remember mine floating down from the top. That's what I was saying was.
So
It's
here, so
in the block editor. Yeah.
when you came here and you hit the block library, it didn't just pop up.
Yeah, that happens. Yes.
So I love that, like, you can pick anything here and all of your basic blocks and even some of the real, I mean, look at how fancy these are. They're all in here and all you have to do is pick one. Now, I'll tell you, I can't sew these.
Now, Heather, you know it's a not I can't. It's like I don't wanna.
Well, yes, you're right. You're right. But I'm happy to be in this area.
Yeah, and just throw one of those in so they can see.
Sure. So from here, you can, change your lines and then you can even color it. This is like my favorite part of the entire program. I'm not gonna lie. And I feel kind of guilty saying that with Jenny on here, but it really is true. I
Well,
love
this
that
shows you that you can have lots of different favorite parts. This is just
Yeah.
Heather's. So.
yeah, I mean,
I'm with Heather. I like the color changing and
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I mean, it's so easy. So I'm just gonna we're gonna randomly pick something because we're sharing a screen and why not, right?
exactly. Why not?
So, oh, that one's not dark enough. Let's switch. So you'll notice I'm just clicking on the color and changing it and clicking my little paintbrush is just clicking on the unit that I want to recolor. And so let's pick another one. And how about we come over here? So it's kind of close, but you'll be able to see the difference. So
Jenny, while Heather is demonstrating this color change and stuff, and clearly Rona does it as well, but for Heather and I that doesn't do quick clicks, is there a quick control? Like if she wanted to change all of that bright red to one color, is there a quick command to do that?
Well, when you're here on the block work table and just looking at a single block, she switched over to the spray can tool, which is how you would change everything in a single block at once.
That's how I do.
If you were over on the quilt work table and wanted to do that across a whole quilt of blocks, that's where you would use your control or command key when you're clicking on a block space, and then it'll change everything all at once.
I'm just going to put it in here and we'll do a quick. Oh, I didn't save it. Did I? Here we go. So I'm just going to put them all in here and I'm not using the control.
Hold down your control or command key.
So
that's what it looks like when you do it.
So wait a minute. So Jenny, instead of, because I'm like Heather, I'm like blah, blah, blah. So instead of doing that, you're saying for PC users, you would hold control and then just click one place and it would automatically bring it in.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yep.
then for Heather, she
I
would
know.
hold down.
Command. Yeah.
Commands. Yeah.
I'm now finding this, not only is this fun to chat with you ladies, but now I've just been educated. Thank you so much.
It's what happens here, Heather.
So
Learn something new every month.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So since we were chatting about the colors, right? The fabric changing of the colors, and we wanted to change all of them.
Mhm.
If you hit the swap color button at the top, right, Jenny, will this do all of them?
It will do all matching ones across the whole quilt.
Correct.
So if you
Okay,
want,
that's what I
one way
thought.
to
So
do
there's
it.
no
So-
real button you got to push other than change to swap color, and then whatever color she chooses is going to go to that red, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Yeah, I did know that. One thing I knew.
So, but that makes it, I mean, I use that all the time. And another, I use the eyedropper all the time.
Yeah.
Because if I'm finding something and I don't know what color this blue is,
Mhm.
you highlight the eyedropper, you click on it, and it instantly brings up the shade. So you don't have to worry that when you actually hit the print and export or the fabric or anything else, that it'll be a different shade. It's all going to be right there in your consumptions, and it's a pretty smooth transition. It's pretty fabulous. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty fabulous.
It is, Heather, because I forget what color I chose 10 minutes ago.
Oh, I do too. And so I'm not gonna lie, I will literally change it where all of these are different colors across my screen. I'm pointing, not that you can see me looking at my screen, but I'll get where this is completely filled, and then I won't remember because that color's gone, because I tend to play when I'm coloring
Yeah.
my quilts and I forget where I was. So that little eyedropper feature is fantastic.
Do you ever do, I forget what it's called, but those three little dots that are
The
down
randomize?
by the three little dots right above in the middle there above your colors? No, go back to the paintbrush. And again, I'm pointing at my screen like you
Yeah,
can
right.
see it.
Oh, this?
Yeah, those three, and where you sort colors. And if you click on sort colors, you can choose which colors you want, and it'll move them to the front of your of all of your little swatches there.
Okay, wait a
Now
minute.
we're getting deep.
I've never done this before, so wait, share again. Do tell.
Oh, that's
Jenny,
an automatic color sort. I haven't done the automatic. I usually do it manually at the beginning, like what colors do I want to work with? And then
Oh,
yeah, so you
okay.
can pick. So if you click on one and whichever one you want to use,
Okay.
and yeah, and then when you pick what however many, and then
Oh,
when you hit the close, all of the ones that you've chosen will be at the very beginning.
okay. So they're right here. These are the four
Yeah.
colors that I just chose.
Yeah.
Go-
That was a game changer for me when I
I'm not
learned
gonna
that.
lie, that's pretty cool.
but go back to the three dots again, because there was lots of little, and I'm looking around my camera, so I'm sorry I'm weird to those people that are viewing. So Jenny, talk about some of these things on here, because I don't know if I've ever even clicked on that before.
So when you're here on the colors tab, this is different ways that you can add more color swatches to this tab. The one I use the most is add shades and tints. So whatever color you have selected, will bring that up here in this little box, and then it will give you a range of shades based on
Ah.
that selected color. So that's really nice if you're doing something that needs a lot of detail and a lot of different colors or a lot of different shades of one color. That's a nice
if
way
you're-
to.
if-
So
like
if
if
you
you're
add
working
the
on a-
sketchbook there.
Like on this one, I'm sorry, Jenny, for interrupting.
Mhm.
So like that would be good, like if you were working on a quilt and you kind of wanted to give it like this ombre effect.
Yeah, that would be one way to use it.
Or like a
Or if you're
monochromatic.
doing, like, if I'm doing a really complex foundation piece block and I want to, you know, have a lot of shades of solid colors, it's a nice way to get a range of, so you can get, you know, shadows and things going with a range of colors.
Makes sense.
Very cool. That one's new to me. I like that.
Rona, I think we need to have like a recap after this, like a little challenge on like using some of these.
I am so glad Jenny's here.
I know. So, Heather, since you're the driver here, can you go back to the three dots again?
Yep.
Okay, Jenny, tell us something else fabulous.
Okay. You're digging deep here, I'm telling. So the add tones and the add grades are other ways to, I mean, you want to probably cancel out of that for a sec and then pick a prettier color that's at first over in the palette. Pick something prettier so we can get like a different thing going.
Okay, how about this
Yeah,
turquoise?
like a blue, and then do add tones or grades. And now you're going to make me want to have to like talk about color theory like I'm in a graphic design class, but the add tones is
Yeah.
adding shades of gray to the color. I think.
Yes.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
and then add grades would be shades of white to that color, I believe.
Exactly. I did not know this was in EQ8.
Okay, so if I did grades, let's go to there.
Oh no, that's
Oh.
it has two different colors. That's right. It grades it between two different selected colors. So you could click on that yellow box with the little down arrow and pick a different color if you wanted to grade between
Do a
that
purple.
blue and something
Oh,
else.
there you go. There you go.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is. Wow, I want to play now. I have so many ideas in my head right now.
Hey, Rona. It's at the moment where you're like, okay, Quilt Babble Live is over. We're finishing early tonight.
Hey, ladies, this was fun, but I gotta go.
I'll have like 3 new patterns designed by tomorrow.
Challenge accepted.
Oh my gosh. Jenny, you have created monsters in these two ladies right now. Okay,
This
go
is
ahead, Jenny.
great.
Sorry
Why
to
did I not
interrupt.
know this? How come
Well,
I
so
didn't
now
know
if you hit add to sketchbook, that'll add all of those color swatches to the end of your palette there, and you could use any of those then to
Oh.
color.
Okay, so I have a question since
Mhm.
since we're chatting about this and we've now added them to our color palette.
Mhm.
Is this at the end of all of my files or is it just on this specific one that I'm working on?
It's just in the project that you're working in right now.
Okay.
So if you created this wonderful color palette that you wanted to be part of every project that you ever start in EQ8, that's where you would want to change your default palette.
Okay. But so
Mm.
does this, I know that we've pulled these colors and we've put them on the end, so to speak, of our color palette,
Mhm.
but does this then pull them from the other areas within our color assortment? So like if I take my little bar and I scroll over,
No, all of those colors still exist the way they always did. It's adding new swatches to the end. So
Okay.
it's not rearranging anything.
Perfect.
Awesome. So
Oh,
we really need to rename this instead of EQ8 Part 2, Mac versus PC. This is like digging deep, and I'm
This
loving
is
it.
deep dive. Yeah, EQ8 deep dive.
It is. So Heather, go back to those three dots again, and let's see what else Jenny might tell us.
Feel like I'm getting quizzed here. Now the other things I don't think we looked at add colors, but that's, I think you can enter in your RGB values if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you click define custom colors, then you could, get real deep into RGB and hue and saturation, all that sort of stuff, and add colors very specifically that way. The other things in the 3-dot options menu are just, your boring things, like if you wanted to change the frame color that selects the around, like right now it's a dark blue. If you changed it to red, it would be a red around the selected.
oh, I see it right
Yeah.
here on this last
So
one.
those are more,
okay.
that sort of
That's
thing.
interesting. Okay. Kind of like the blue.
Yeah.
What is
And your tooltips, I
Yeah.
believe, are the names that show up. So if you wanted RGB values to show up like they do now, like if you hover over one of those,
Oh yeah.
it'll show the RGB values. If you wanted it to be like hex colors or turn that off, that's where the tooltips come into play
I'm
there.
not sure why my hover feature isn't working. Let's see.
It might be because you're sharing your screen. I think
Oh,
sometimes
it could
that
be.
like will make
Oh.
certain tooltips not show up.
Yeah, that's probably it. And then
And then display is just how big the swatches show up down there.
Yeah.
That's probably the only one I've ever played with is changing the swatch size.
So also realize that you don't need to change the display size with these 3 buttons. You could do so down here
Correct.
on the bottom left
Yeah.
hand of your screen.
Yeah, that's the only way I've done it. I don't like I said, I don't know if I've ever touched those 3 dots. Who knew? So
Oh, This is fabulous.
Heather,
I'm excited.
Heather, go over to the fabric tab a second. Right
Sure.
beside colors down.
Oh, yeah. So there's nothing in this particular project, but if I wanted to add for my library, I could.
But I wanted to ask Jenny, does that change the 3 dots features if she's on the
Yeah,
fabric
there are
tab?
different options here because you're not going to have all those color options because those
Yeah.
are specific to solid colors. Here, you're just going to be able to sort or delete or clear out that palette essentially.
Gotcha.
And you still have the ability to change the frame or the
Right.
size of the display.
Mhm.
Nice.
Anything else I can share?
Yeah. So, Heather, thanks for popping a block in and playing with some of the little features that we did last week. And Jenny, thank you for letting us deep dive. But something we didn't talk about last month was some of the add-ons. And years ago, I don't know how long, Jenny will know when this was. Like I don't know if y'all can see me since Heather's sharing screen, but
I'll
I
stop.
did like, no, don't stop sharing. We want you to keep sharing. But I did like a block base add-on. And of course mine was this is probably disc. That's how old
Yeah,
this
you have a
is.
really old version there.
I'm old girl. No, I'm just kidding. But now I know they don't come like that because I've added some since that I can just do digitally. And Heather's going to talk about those add-ons in a minute and how you can access your add-ons. But something I did want to mention, I'm a paper girl and I love this book. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Yeah.
The encyclopedia. I love that you guys did this, Jenny, because
I have one too.
yes.
I
This
need
is
one.
This is like take it to bed and just thumb through for life. I don't even know how many times I've been through this, but I'm always marking pages because I'm like, I've never seen that block before. That's fabulous. So even if you don't have the software, I highly suggest this. Anything you want to say about that, Jenny?
That is Barbara Brackman's Encyclopedia of Pieced Quilt Patterns, and that's the 3rd edition that we published just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Previously, it was all like black and white, and it was Barbara's original like line drawings of these blocks because she cataloged all of these blocks from old publications, and so now it's all in color, and it's you get a line drawing and a color version of the block, and you get the historical information about the block. And yeah, I mean, get your Post-it notes ready because that's a great book to just, thumb through and look for inspiration. And then if you do have Block-Based Plus, then you have the digital version of all those blocks as well that you can add to your EQ8.
Absolutely. And that's what I did. And, it was fun. Not that there was much fun during the pandemic, but during the pandemic, there was a bunch of us that would get on Zoom from, numerous states. We've never met each other in person, but we've been quilting friends online forever. And we would go through this book and everybody had to bring a block to the next Zoom meeting that they found, they made, and we would talk about tips, how to make it. It was just a great, great thing. It was really fun because we had time to dig in because we had nothing better to do. I'm just saying, we're stuck in the house.
Sounds like that's kind of like a virtual quilting bee. I kind of like that.
It really was because like Jenny said, there's history in there. And so it was fun to dig in because it would say like the year, I'm assuming, Jenny, correct me if I'm wrong, but like the year when the block was first noted and then like different names the block had been known by.
Right, because every block, will be known by a different name, especially like depending on your region of the country and that sort of thing. And that was information that Barbara compiled because it's like, oh, somebody knows that as a monkey wrench and other people knows that as a snail's trail and things like that. And so you can use it to look up a block based on like how the patches are arranged, and then you can find it and be like, oh, it's known by all of these different names. And if I search for that online, then I can find different patterns and, piecing instructions and that sort of thing. So it's a great resource.
It was just good talking points. Definitely. So with that being said, add-ons, Heather, I think you might actually have your own add-on through EQ. Is this true?
do. I'm super excited to share that I worked with Jenny and the team, and we put together a collection of my little whimsical blocks, and it's called Four Seasons, and there is something for every season of the year.
Is there any way you could show us some
I was gonna
yumminess?
say, do you want to have a little peek?
Yes, and tell us
So-
how, when someone purchases an add-on, how do they access it?
So you access it, let me close this. So you access it pretty much the same way. You purchase it directly online and then you download it and load it to your PC or Mac. You'll have to use the instructions that apply to your particular computer. But then once you are in it, you just come right on up to the top of EQ and you can, file, open a project. And forgive me, you're going to see all of my projects, so don't look too close. But you can see, like, here's Dear Jane, because I have that.
Yes, love.
And so here are mine. There's a couple in here, and I will pick up, let's do spring quilts since we're in spring. And actually this is just popping up and asking if I wanted to save what we were working on to the sketchbook, and I don't need it. I'm gonna hit no and just move forward. So here is what it looks like when it opens. And here are just a few of the blocks from the add-on. Again, it's called Four Seasons. And not only does it come with blocks, but it actually comes with these great little projects that are pre-made for you. So you can then, quickly put something together or just get inspiration from it. And it's not just about the individual blocks. You can actually create full projects from it as well. So, there's fun ones to choose from. So Easter's right around the corner, right? So we can open this one and go from there. My computer's being a little slow. But here you go. We've got the little bunnies and the carrots, and we can change the colors any way we want, add a border to it, or anything you like. So kind of fun.
Carrots are cute little scrap busters for sure with all those little pieces.
Exactly. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a scrap buster? That's my favorite.
Definitely. So all the blocks we're seeing on the left-hand side, these are blocks that come with your add-on, is that correct?
Yes, these are all included in the add-on, and then you can from here create anything you like from it. Here are just a few of the projects that are included. So this one happens to have the little tulips on it, which I think is so fun. They're great for you to do it in your scraps. You can even change out using a variety of greens for the stems and leaves, and even switch up, maybe do one tulip yellow and then another one orange, or whatever your favorite color is. So, tons of fun ways for you to use up the stash that you already have on hand, or your favorite fabric line that you just purchased from the store.
Absolute.
Is this one available now that people can download or
It is.
purchase?
It is.
And that's on the EQ website?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
And stay tuned to the end of the video because we've got a little special code for you at the end too. So
Exactly, Jenny. We got excited and started and forgot to tell everybody, hang
Yes.
around to the end. Jenny's got a little something
Yes.
for everybody.
We love surprises.
And actually, Heather, if you want to go to the block library and show them, so you're looking at the spring project right now, so that's all the spring quilts. But if you
Yep.
go to the block library,
That's what I was going to say, to see it all, I guess.
oh no, go over to libraries and block library. And then scroll down past all of the built-in stuff. And you'll see her Heather Valentine Four Seasons. So open that up there. And then all of the blocks are in the block library too. So if you didn't want to start with one of the pre-designed quilts, you can use her blocks from the library to create something, from scratch.
And it's so fun that they're all here because you can get like a really quick look at them and then pull it into any one of your projects. So even though, you know, it comes in as the add-on, you can actually pull it and save it to even like your favorite blocks or anything else, because maybe you want to add it to like a classic block that you love to make or use over and over again, but you know that it would be a great complement to any one of these.
That is cool.
So
That
and
is very
I love
cool.
them. I mean, I have to say that, you know, I took like a whole period of really deep diving and learning EQ8, and I made a new block every week. It was my like determination to learn the program because I was afraid that if I didn't commit that I wouldn't learn it. And I have to say that I thought it was going to take me so long to learn it, and it was so easy. Once you get into it and you open the program, you know, on a consistent basis, and even if you're only working in it for 5 to 10 minutes at a time, you really it just becomes second nature.
I think that's a really good point. It's like if you just use it, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, you
Yeah.
just get comfortable with everything. And then it's not, you know, I think people have the most trouble when it's like they use it for a half an hour and then put it away for 6 months and then they go back to use it again and they forgot everything that they learned in that half hour. And so you're starting from scratch again. So there are lots of free lessons and tutorials and videos on our website. So you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to just sit there at a blank screen and be like, okay, well, what should I do? Pull up one of our free lessons and work through a lesson, you know, once or twice a week to keep yourself, you know, using the program and in there, and then things start to make much more sense to you.
I
Heather,
think that's the beauty of it. You know, I mean, you really can not only can you use like anything from an add-on that as a starting point, but remember that when you go to layouts up top, you have all these options that you can actually utilize to create something. You know, any of the different layouts, you can change your borders, you can, you know, design and just really have fun. And if you don't experiment, you're never going to know what you're missing out on. And trust me, it's a lot.
I was just going to say the same thing, that it's one of the things I loved about EQ, especially when I was first learning how to design on a computer, because I mean, I was always old school using graph paper and pencils. But as soon as I got EQ, it was so user friendly to literally just log in and start clicking. And oh, what does this button do? Oh, what does this button do? And I mean, it was just a lot of fun to kind of work my way through. And then once you get the hang of it, oh my gosh, the just off and run into the races.
absolutely. It is a rabbit hole for sure. Heather, if you don't care, I'm going to ask a question of Jenny, but if you don't care, can you, since you're screen sharing, can you pop over to your internet and go to actually Electric Quilt's website so we can show people how to get things? But while she's doing that, Jenny, so we know back in the day there was box versions of the software. I'm not even sure if there is now. Is there, well, first of all,
Well,
is there
we
still
have
box
box
versions?
versions, but they're really meant for like gift giving. They're essentially like a gift card to then download the software. So if you're purchasing for yourself, it's really best to choose the download version.
Got you.
So
And then a question that a viewer had is, can they only download it one time? But if they have a PC, I mean a desktop and then a laptop, so what's the deal there?
okay, so with EQ8, you're allowed to have 2 active computers at a time. So if
Okay.
you have a laptop and a desktop, you can have your EQ8 active on both of those. Now, if you throw in a third computer, like, you know, you've got another desktop computer in your studio or something like that, you'll have to deactivate, let's say, your laptop so that you can activate your studio computer. But there's no limit to the amount of times that you can download EQ8 once you purchase it. It's just those activations that you have to keep track of, and you're never out of activations. We can always reset it, and you can, you know, computer crashes happen, things happen.
Right.
So we can always clear those up for you.
Perfect. And what if someone bought EQ 4, 5, or 6, and like Rona or whoever said, it kind of ended up on the shelf, and now the excitement is back that they've seen last month on our show and this month on their show.
So-
Can they upgrade, pay a fee to upgrade what they have, or do they need to start
Let me
over
find
with
it.
EQ8? What's
We have, if you have EQ7, we have an upgrade available for that.
Okay.
If you
Right
have
here.
an older version, like 4 or 5, something like that, you can contact us, and we can look up your registration and see what you have, and then usually send a promo code for a discounted version for having, but it's only a true upgrade if you're going from 7 to 8, but
Got you.
we still like to reward our previous owners with a discount.
Okay,
And
and
I can
someone
tell you
meant-
that I had EQ7 and I just didn't commit to it. So by the time I was ready to really like dig in, I upgraded and the whole process was really easy. Like I'll just say I was a little nervous about it and it was super easy. And to that point, you guys do a great job of any of the upgrades or like updates, I should say, and it makes it super easy for the user to be able to not only update it, but implement it really quickly on your computer. So you're not like, oh, where is it? Where do I have to put it? What happened? It reopens and you're brand new again. But yet all of your old files and everything else are still there. So you don't have to worry about anything getting lost in the shuffle.
Right.
Absolute, absolute. Jenny, someone asked, what is EQ Stitch?
EQ Stitch was a plugin for EQ7 for digitizing. That's been discontinued. So we haven't,
Okay.
that's been gone for several years at this point.
Okay, perfect. And then, Heather, if you don't mind, if you will click and show, if someone is interested in any of the add-ons, but for sure your 4 Seasons add-on, how do they go about it?
So I'll go to Jenny. You think I should just go to the new products? Because I saw mine. Well, here's just
Yeah,
the
yours
add-on.
is up in the new products, or well, we kind of have everything divided out. So we have the add-on blocks, add-on quilts, and add-on fabrics. So if you want to go to new products, that'll probably show you kind of a
Yeah.
variety of different add-ons there.
See if I
Oh, there
can-
you are, Miss Heather.
Yeah, I'm trying to wait a minute. Yeah, I was trying to make sure that I could get everybody off. Not that I don't like seeing everybody, but I wanted to show you the screen. I feel like we were hugging it up. So yeah, so there's a whole bunch here, and they all look so
Those
cute.
are just our new ones from like the past like 6 months or so. If you go to shop and scroll down, or even here, it depends. It's broken into, are you looking for
So-
add-on blocks or quilts or fabrics?
Yeah, I'll just scroll through each of them because I don't know if you could actually
Or-
see it since I was sharing the screen, but now I can see it like on my right-hand side. But so I'll scroll down. Here's the add-on blocks, and here's the block base, boutique blocks, which I mean, let's face it, those are super cute.
I was
There's
gonna
over
say,
120 of those different
here?
boutique blocks available. Yeah, different
Wow.
collections. So
Wow. Okay, so then here's Judy's blocks, which they look so beautiful. And then 100 blocks, kaleidoscope. Yeah. Mhm.
I'm like you, Heather.
I love kaleidoscope quilts. They're like my go-to.
Oh, I'm not saying I don't love them. I just don't want to make them.
I was gonna say, it's very Rona, very Rona.
So, and then when we're up here on the quilts, you can see Dear Jane, so beautiful. And I mean, so much to look at, right? So
Mhm.
there's definitely a ton. And then we didn't really talk about fabrics, but I mean, Jenny, I don't know if you want to talk about the fabric, but you guys have a great program like that people can sign up for your email, and once a month they'll get like a new fabric collection that they could even add into their
Fabric library.
libraries.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have like a free fabric of the month download that comes out the first of every month. So those are free. The add-on fabrics here, that's our stash add-on. So that comes out 3 times a year, and that's got over 1,000 fabrics each time.
There we
Yeah,
go.
so if you scroll down, so that adds all of these different collections. I think the latest one was all batik. So like the first and second stash add-on each year are seasonal collections, and I believe it's the third one is usually all batiks. So
Yeah, hopefully everybody that watched our episode last month went and downloaded Scott's Quilting is My Voice, the
Yes.
fabulous batik fabrics.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a
That's
gorgeous
yummy.
collection, and it's still there. So definitely, if you didn't get it, go to Do You EQ and the Fabric of the Month download and get that.
And I'm gonna tell you, if you want that fabric, you better be getting it because it is flying. We're already out of several prints. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. Real quick, Heather, if you don't care, if you will kind of go over to the freebies and lessons section.
Oh, yes. I was there
Let-
before.
Yeah, let's let Jenny speak about that real quick. Believe it or not, guys, we are coming down. We only got 15 minutes left to tell all these people all this great stuff. So
Okay.
Jenny, tell them what they're looking at here. What is, if you're
Okay, so
brand new
these
to
are
EQ,
all
where
of the
to come?
different free things that we have. So the EQ design challenges, those are hosted on our blog. So last month was Scott's collection. This month it's the Ebony Suite by Barbara Brackman. So that's download the free fabric of the month, design a quote with it, post it for the challenge. Every month there's a project of the month, and those are super cute. That's the one this time. Last month was these little hearts. And there's like over 10 years of past projects of the month that you could download for free.
Wow. Just into this view all
yeah,
button.
yeah.
Just click it here.
So those are just fun, you know, inspirational projects. So you can use fabric of the month. We've kind of covered. Okay, you can see Quilting is My Voice is still listed right there. So that's Scott's if you wanted to get that one. The next is Design and Discover as a lesson series that's over on our blog. So that's just a free lesson every month too. And that one uses some of Heather's blocks right there. So that's a nice way to force yourself to learn something new, go work through a lesson. More lessons here. Lessons with Lori are more free lessons. Same with lessons with Yvonne up on the next column.
Oh, yep.
EQ block spotlight, that's something that I write on the blog. So every month I just pick a block from the library and design some quilts with it, and then challenge everybody else to use that same block in their own design. So you get some really creative things there. And let's see, a lot of these others are different. Oh, if you click on the EQ quilt gallery one, the next one down, that is all just user design quilts. So these are just everyday people who are using EQ to design these amazing quilts. So if you click on one, you'll see the finished quilt and the EQ design. So what it looks like on the screen.
I'm
So
gonna pick a
there
really
are just
big
like
one.
some really amazing quilts
Wow.
that people have designed in the software. So
That
that's
is
like
gorgeous.
quilt show at home kind of thing.
Yeah, Claudia, you're my
Jenny.
hero.
Jenny, I'm going to interrupt and I'm going to say the one thing that is standing out that you are saying, and I'm sure the viewers are picking up on this, was free lesson, free support, free lesson, free support,
Yes.
free project, free challenge. I will tell you, I've had a lot of software over the years, whether it is graphic design software, website design, just tons of software. I don't know of anybody that has that type of freebie lessons like you
Right.
guys. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, we really support the software. We don't just put out a software and say, okay, you're on your own. We have so many resources out there, just free lessons, free videos. I mean, and also great books too. You know, we've got great the Lessons for Beginners book, the Designing Quilts books. If you love to sit down with a book, I mean, they're gorgeous books. They're spiral bound, they're full color. They're a great way to sit down and use the software. And also know that we're here for support too. I mean, you can email us or live chat with us on the website or call us, and we're happy to help with any questions that you have, because most of all, we want you to use and enjoy your software.
I love it. I love
I
it.
definitely do.
I know. Heather, if you could stop screen sharing, thank you so much for driving the boat for us. We did have a question from one of the viewers also says, when is the next EQ University in-person event? Jenny, I know you answered it in chat, but if you would like to answer it out loud for everybody.
Okay, so the next EQ Academy is May 2nd through the 4th in 2024 in Perrysburg, Ohio. So classes are filling up. A couple of them are already full. So if you are interested, get over there and enroll, because we're running out of seats and we'd love to see you there. So
Can I just add to that? So I went to EQ Academy last year for the first time, and I have to say, I was supposed to go during, it got canceled for COVID, and then it was like the first time that it ramped back up again. And I have to say, as just a user, I was so impressed by the level of attention that each one of your instructors like paid to everybody in class. The amount of information that was shared there was just fantastic. And honestly, the community at large was so welcoming. Like there were shop owners there were general users, there were budding designers. Like it was a great experience. So like if anybody's remotely interested, they should totally go.
I
Yeah.
love it. I
It's
love
a lot
it.
of fun.
This is Steve on the back end. Are there virtual versions of those classes happening at the same time?
We do have online classes. They don't match up exactly with what is taught at EQ Academy, because we can get into a lot more very topic specific classes at EQ Academy, but we do have a series of 3 online classes. If you can't travel or can't make it to Ohio, those are a good option as well. And I teach all of those classes. So
Woo, woo,
you did more than
Jenny.
me.
I love it. Heather, the quilt behind you, is this made with some of your blocks?
So it is, but I don't think none of these blocks are in my
Four Seasons?
yeah, my add-on. So this is actually, it's called Heartland Heritage, and it's one of the earlier quilts. I pulled it out because it's one of like the earlier quilts that I made with EQ, and I thought that it was just kind of fun to share like where I've started and kind of where I've grown to. And you know, the whole process has been fun, but you can see that I just really like that whimsical design of like the taking like an everyday item and making it, you know, simplified. That's a little less of a challenge for us to make on the machine.
I love
He
that,
had
that
so
EQ
many cute blocks. It was hard to pick which ones we could include. I mean, it was like we could have made 3 or 4 add-ons with her blocks.
So
Yeah,
that
and
sounds like there potentially could be a part 2 add-on there, Heather.
Yeah.
I love that EQ has the ability, like, because especially whether you're just the average everyday quilter or a quilt designer or even a budding designer, everybody has their own style and their own type of quilt that they like. And EQ covers pretty much all of them. Everything like Jenny was talking about with the foundation, paper piecing to, I mean, you can take a photograph and pull things out of the photograph to put into a quilt. I've done that before. I mean, it's absolutely amazing the level of things that you can do with your quilt designs in EQ.
and don't
I'm a
forget
big fan if
applique.
you can't tell.
And you can do
Yes,
applique too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sounds like it is limitless and endless fun. And definitely, I mean, we talked about it last month, but Rona and I always chuckle. You just get lost and then you forget you're supposed to be productive on something because you're having such fun. Guys, we are down to the last few minutes. So Jenny, I'm going to come to you after Heather, but Heather, remind everybody once again who you are, the name of your company, where they can find you, and all good things. What's happening in Heather's world and what can they look out for? What's going on?
So I'm Heather from the Sewing Loft. I'm super excited that you guys asked me to be on. I am coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina. I know, so exciting. And I am honestly in the process of doing a whole slew of new blocks. So I've been really busy designing. They might or might not be something new for my fabric line. So I'm excited about that too. And I'm even taking each one of the blocks that are have been released before, and I'm making them into single shares that will be printed and can be found in your local quilt shop soon.
Ooh, very cool.
Yeah, and you can
Awesome.
find me at thesewingloft.com.
I love it. Now, Heather, do you do any type of sew-alongs? And you mentioned fabric. I know you at Houston, there was a fabric line you had out, right? Or
Yeah,
was
I have a fabric line with Wyndham. It's called Color Club. It's 30 colors in 6 tonal prints. And the whole concept behind it is that you can blend it with the pieces that you already have in your stash, because I'm a scrapper at heart, but there's always a couple of shades or something that I'm missing. So I really designed it because I wanted you to be able to, you know, implement it within what you already have. So yeah, so super fun. I'm excited to add a few more shades to the mix.
Ah, good for you. Sounds like we need to keep our eyes open at Houston market this year.
Yeah.
She says, yeah. Okay, Miss Jenny, what would you like to leave everybody with? And
Okay.
final thoughts for EQ.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We're so glad that we could be a part of part 2 here. It was a lot of fun. And if anybody has any questions, you know, after watching this, feel free to reach out to us at Electric Quilt, electricquilt.com. You can use the live chat. You can, you know, email us, call us. We're happy to answer any questions, whether you're still thinking about getting EQ or you've had it for several years and this has sparked something where you want to try something but not sure where to get started. Let us know. We're happy to help. So is this where I can plug our little promo code? All right. So for all of you great viewers out there, we have a promo code for you all. So that is Babble25. So BABBLE 25. And you can use that on our website to save 25% on any purchase. So you could buy Heather's add-on and save 25%. That is good through expires April 1st. I want to make sure I say all my things right. If you are thinking about getting EQ8, you can use it on that as well. And we've got some great bundles available on our site now. So if you get EQ8 and the lesson book, the Lesson for Beginners book, you'll get a special bundle price, and then you can also use that 25% off code on it.
I've seen
too. So you
Heather
can
over there
stack it.
type, and
I
she's like,
was.
"Oh, let
I'm
me
gonna
get
write
that
it down
other
so I can share it
add-on."
with my
Yeah.
audience.
Yep, I
Is,
wrote it down too.
I know, Jenny. Is that all caps on Babel, or does it matter?
Yes. All, I believe it has to be all caps. So
Okay.
Babble 25.
I've added into the chat for folks. I did want to ask, here, I'm just jumping in on the back end. I wanted to ask Heather a quick question, because I haven't had a chance to snoop around on your social media and check it out, or maybe on EQ8's website. But with the add-on package that you got, that you were showing earlier, do you have things on your social media account or things like YouTube, support type videos or anything that helps people
So
Get
I
more
do have some
inspiration.
videos for the blocks. I don't have one for every one of the blocks, but I will tell you that I've been working on building them up. YouTube has not been my most exciting platform, but as of lately, I am adding more to them. So yes, I have them there, and you will notice quickly they will start to, that list will grow, and it's under Blocks to Quilt is where you'll find all of the videos.
Thank you.
Good question, man behind the curtain.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Okay, I'm gonna go next, and then we'll let Rona finish this out because she's always got this big, huge, I sort of say laundry list, but it's a travel list, and she's just everywhere. Mine is not as boom, boom, boom as Rona. But as you guys know, I am Lisa Baker, the owner of SewEndipitious Quilt Shop here in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and Rona's cohort in crime here on the Babble every month. And I have some exciting news that I wanted to share with you guys if you have not already seen. This year, for the By Annie's favorite local quilt shop, SewEndipitious won the state of South Carolina again. Whoop, whoop. But more importantly than that, we actually won for the entire USA. And I see Jenny's face like, what? We did, Jenny. It was so amazing because last year we won the state of South Carolina, and it was our first year as brick and mortar, though it was our fifth year in business. But for second year brick and mortar to not only get the state of South Carolina again, which we didn't think was possible, but to also get #1 in the US, we were blown away. So to any of the viewers out there, if you guys voted for us, much, much thanks. It takes a village, and that's what makes SewEndipitious special. So I did just want to say thank you, everybody, for supporting us. It's all you, Rona.
I'll be the first to say it's well deserved because I mean I may be biased, but I happen to absolutely love SewEndipitious Quilt Shop because it's not just a quilt shop. It's literally it's Lisa, you and your cohorts there literally make it just a very special place to come and hang out. So I'm so happy for you guys. Okay, so that said, and we put the mushy stuff aside. So yeah, my travel list coming up, we'll just stick with the short term. April I finally get to get back on the road again. Yay. I've been cooped up way too long. So I've got back-to-back guilds in Wisconsin, which I'm super excited about. And then at the end of April 26th, 27th, and 28th, I will be the featured quilter at the Umpqua Valley Quilters Guild Quilt Show in Oregon. So if you're on the West Coast, please come say hi. I'll be teaching the Stonehenge brand new workshop. Is going to be super fun. And then next month I'll tell you all about May because I can't remember off the top of my head.
I just need you to say that place 5 times fast.
I can't. I really I could spell it for you. But yeah, it's Umpqua.
Oh my
I
gosh.
hope I'm pronouncing it correctly.
I love it. Guys, we have come to our end here. Jenny, thank you. Heather, thank you for coming and hanging out with me and Rona. We love to quilt babble, and you guys were just a natural fit. So absolutely love it. For all of you viewers that tune in each month, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Rona and I are keeping next month's topic a secret because we don't know yet.
I don't know it yet.
We kind of know. We kind of know. But anyway, we want you to just keep coming back to the social media channels to check it out and find out. But we will post that probably by next week, a week and a half from now, of what next month's going to be. And EQ, gosh, we may have to do a 3 and a 4 and a 5 of that in later sessions. But guys, thank you so much. Good spending time with you tonight, and see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.